Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of The Aftermath. My name is Ian, and this week we actually have Ethan with us.
I'm back. Don't worry, I didn't die.
This is the episode where we give you nothing and take from you everything.
It was clutch. I almost didn't make it.
Wow.
Wow. This is the episode where we dine in hell.
Ready your breakfast and eat hearty.
Yeah. This is the episode where this is Sparta, and I kick someone off the mountain.
Right.
There also happen to be 300 other guest stars with us.
No, 299.
Oh yeah,
I count as one of them.
One guy died.
One guy on the hike up there, he tripped and he bonked his head and he died.
Yeah,
Had a
might make it.
hemorrhagic stroke. He was out off the count.
So in case you guys couldn't tell so
Rip
far,
Slimothy James.
we watched 300.
$300 bills.
And man, it was
It was a solid movie.
I've obviously seen all the clips of all like the big scenes of this movie, but I've never actually seen the whole thing.
Good for you. I haven't. I've seen nothing of this movie.
Really?
Damn.
How you did that?
I'm pretty sure I've seen parts of the one slow-mo scene, the one take Tony slow-mo scene. I've seen not even the whole thing, but parts of that scene. But no, I just have not seen any of them. I think I might have seen. No, I feel like saw a different scene of him kicking somebody off because I saw someone getting kicked off like a mountain. I think I saw like a million memes of it, but never the original scene of him.
Oh,
kicking
really?
Yeah. Well, yeah, that is the original scene. That's the.
No, the original scene was him kicking him down that well thing in this movie.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I watched like off like the top of a mountain or something. I think it was some meme or something.
Probably so.
Yeah, like I think it was something different. I mean, I know whenever The Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion was a thing, I watched people say that.
Oh,
and then
yes.
kick the adoring fan off of Dive Rock. I watched that
what
as
a good time. I forgot about that.
Ancient tradition. It
Forgot
dictates
that the adoring fan was an NPC.
Right.
You gotta love
How
him, you
much
gotta
I
hate
hated
him. Every time you kill him, he just comes back for seconds. He's the best companion.
I heard that in the remake they're doing for it in Sky Oblivion, they're not gonna have him back.
Oh, come on.
Yeah,
I
have
mean,
to add him.
I mean, maybe it's just
Yeah,
a troll.
At least as like
but
an Easter egg. Maybe give him a headstone.
They gotta do the
somewhere.
Minecraft thing where every
Right.
update it says removed
Adoring
adoring
fan.
fan. Like it says removed Herobrine, and it just keeps removed adoring fan, but he keeps coming back for more.
Right.
Yeah.
He's actually terrifying. I can quote his line still.
Oh, please don't.
By Azura, by Azura, by Azura. I can't believe it's the grand champion of the arena standing here next to me.
My God.
That was just one of them. I know more.
But
I heard him so much.
but I've never watched the movie all the way through, and I knew this movie had like an artistic look to it. I didn't know how far they went with it.
Oh yeah.
I think it looks very nice though.
Mm-hmm.
I think the mixture of practical effects and VFX they have are really good.
Very gritty and vibrant.
Right. It's also very contrasty. Like
Yeah.
it's very much the darks are very dark and the brights are very bright.
Right.
And but again, it makes it look very
It looks
dark
good.
and grimy and different. It's definitely weird, but I think it
works.
pans out well.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was great.
I think
Very
I think
enjoyable movie.
it makes
It's another movie that's just all action. And I
Right.
love that.
Right.
It is one of those ones where you kind of know what's gonna happen if you know anything about history at all. Again, having never seen the movie, I just heard the name Xerxes and Leonidas and I already knew like two different lines that were gonna happen just because of history classes.
Yeah.
And like the whole movie, I was like, "Is this where he says the line?" And Dylan was like, "Just wait, just wait." And I was like, "No, I think this is where he's gonna say the thing. This is where he's gonna say, come and take him, isn't it?" And then, funnily enough, when he did say "come and take him," I missed it. I thought he said something else.
Yeah.
But like I really enjoyed it, even though you kind of know sort of the direction it's going, where like the 300 are going to fight them, but like they ended up not winning, but like they do impressively well. Like
Right.
you read about it, and so I mean it's like it's one of those ones where like you kind of know the direction it's going, but they still managed to throw some cool stuff in there, and how it ends is honestly really good.
Yeah, they spice it up for sure.
It's weird because it's like you want it to end that way, so you feel like you know it's going to end that way, but also like it's still kind of like a change of pace. I don't know. It's like you feel like it's going to end with them losing, and then it's like it ends with 40,000 people running at them to finish off Xerxes.
Right.
Which is really cool because, like, in that scene, he's like, 300 of them gave him hell. Let's see what 10,000 can do with 30,000 other nerds. Rip those guys. Like,
Right.
So cool.
yeah. Dude,
So Spartans are easily up there with like the greatest warriors ever produced by mankind.
The coolest
Right? At least that's
ever.
what their reputation is. They're always depicted as these like super undefeatable badasses.
Well, the reason why is because the whole 300 story, like maybe not to the extent that was seen in the movie, but
right?
like,
they definitely hammed it up.
It's a real story, yeah. Where, and like, the actual law. I'm gonna have to look it up. I'm gonna briefly try and look it up,
Right.
but like in a second. But like the actual numbers were like all 300 of them were lost, but like 10,000 freaking people died on the enemy's side. And it was like it was just ridiculous.
Oh, right.
And it's because the reason why I think that they're the best soldiers like that we've ever produced is because they were, again, the movie does it pretty justice talking about how they're trained, where it's like from birth the most able-bodied people were like put through the most rigorous things and had to do just or just like dehumanized to the point where they were just Spartans.
Oh, yeah,
and they
right.
could not feel fear anymore. And it's like, in a way, that's like, not good for people, but in a different way, it's awesome.
They also
Right.
proved that in that one scene when they're talking to the other Greek like fighters and stuff. And it's like,
the
what's
Acadians.
They're
all your-
trained.
what's all your professions and all that kind of stuff? And he's like, oh, I'm this, I'm that, whatever.
I'm
He's
a
like,
potter.
he's
I'm
like,
a blacksmith.
it's like Spartans. What are we? And they just go like, hoorah! And it's like,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, that's
It's
all
like,
they
all
are.
right.
They're just killing machines.
Yeah.
It's like I'm
Bred
sure
for war.
exactly. It's like you
and
may have
nothing else.
you may have brought the best you got. But it's like I have brought the
very best.
I have brought more warriors than you
the
have.
cream of the crop.
Yeah, you may have more people, but
Yeah.
how dare you talk shit about my troops?
It takes inspiration from the Battle of Thermopylae. That was it.
Wow.
And I'm gonna look at it briefly because on the Wikipedia page there's usually a number. Like
One
just
thing I
a
can
brief,
say.
Oh yeah, total. The strength was a total of 7,000 for Leonidas, and between 70 and 300,000 for
Oh my God.
Xerxes. Casualties 4,000 for Leonidas, and estimated 20,000 for
Holy shit.
the other side. I believe
Jesus,
somewhere in there it's
amazing.
another thing. The Persian, I can find it later, but yeah, it was super interesting.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
One thing I also love that they did about certain characters was like at each stop of like an important person for Xerxes' side, at each like new
Lackey.
yes, new lackey that would like be introduced,
Right.
it did a really good job of like showing their like improvement in stature
Right.
enough to where you're like, how much more can this get?
Mhm.
Like you start off with like the messenger,
Yeah.
and they're already like, watch your mouth, like and
Yeah,
of
no,
course,
exactly.
he gets
they
popped
keep
off.
it in a sort of what's the word I'm looking for? I forgot the name of it.
It's like a casual incline of like power.
No, it's my favorite anime right now. In a sort of Gurren Lagann style thing, the show keeps on, like, it starts
Right,
off strong
right.
and keeps on amping itself up.
Yeah.
Quickly, I know that this is not really a history lesson, but also it was 300, so I have to. I'm just going to read one little article, one paragraph of the Wikipedia
Right,
article. According to Herodotus, and Diodorus the king, having taken the measure of the enemy, threw his best troops into a second assault the same way. The immortals, an elite corps of 10,000 men. However, these immortals fared no better than the first, and failed to make any headway against the Greeks. The Spartans apparently used a tactic of feigning retreat, then turning around and killing the enemy troops so they ran after them.
Are you kidding me?
I am not joking.
They just pulled a fucking psych.
I believe this is called ancient...
Retreat, psych.
This is called ancient pump faking, I believe.
Oh man, that's great.
And again, that was the first day, and that was 10,000. So they already killed like so many of them within that one day. Oh man.
That is ridiculous.
Wow, that's perfect.
Supposing that their enemies, being so few, were now disabled by wounds and could no longer resist. However, the Persians had no more success on the second day than the first. Xerxes at last stopped the assault and withdrew to his camp, quote, totally perplexed. I love that,
Nice.
man.
Like, how the fuck
I don't
are
understand.
these bunch of sunbathers holding off my fucking immortals?
Oh, wait, so the FILTs...
You guys are getting your asses kicked by men in capes and speedos, damn
Yeah.
it.
So apparently FILTs or whatever his name was is actually like that's a huge part of the story. Later that day,
Oh, yeah.
however, as the Persian king was pondering what to do next, he received a windfall. A tactician a Trachinian named Ephaltes informed him of the mountain pass around Thermopylae and offered to guide the Persian army. He was motivated by the desire for reward. And then,
needless to say, like I said, then the next person we see is the emissary,
Right.
and of course, he's on this huge throne that's being carried by slaves, and it's like, I mean, that's cool and all, but like, I always think stuff like that's a little bit extra. I'm like, I don't understand. And then I think, was there another guy after that, or was it just?
Yeah, there was another one.
Who was that?
It was the guy that they encountered at the mouth of the pass. He wasn't on like any fancy like palanquin or anything. He was just on a horse and was like, lay down your fucking weapons.
Right.
And then he gets speared immediately, and then Leonidas is like, come get him, bitch.
Yeah. Come take your
fuck you want.
I dare you to take my weapons.
Right.
But then of course, the next person you see is the quote unquote God King himself.
Right.
I'm like, man,
it's a bit redundant, isn't it?
Well, I mean, I kind of get it.
Yeah.
But like for me,
just like in terms of stature, I guess.
Right. I've always wondered, like, how does someone get to that point?
You got so much at your fingertips.
Yeah, but like, I know it's probably a little bit of bloodline. It's like a little bit of like, probably conquering of something. But like, this guy didn't seem like he was like a warrior by any means. Probably not.
He was huge.
Yeah, he was a big guy. He had a booming voice, so he's probably already like, oh, you're a special person.
Yeah.
And then in those,
you never really see him fight.
In those times,
because
I think
it's beneath him.
It is. Probably so. But it's like, but again, like I'm saying, like there's a point where, again, like obviously this is a movie and it's a depiction of something.
Yeah.
But I mean, even like
very dramatized.
Even
depiction.
like pharaohs or like, you know, certain things like that. I know, like at least in like medieval times, like, you know, you could be a guy over a large battalion of other guys, and of course you're like,
like, okay,
heave ho, I'm gonna conquer this castle, and everyone's like, you're king now.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Sure.
Yeah. Right.
You look okay, get in.
Yeah, it's like, now let's all wrangle up, boys, and take that kingdom too.
Like, all right,
nice,
sure.
Sweet. But it's like, I wonder, like, is that the same sort of thing that happens? You have one guy that's like, everyone rally behind me.
I imagine it works like a sort of snowball effect.
Probably so.
Like once you start, you don't stop.
Right.
But yeah.
He's just the most famous person ever that just gains power. That's interesting.
His reputation is almost all that there is to his name, it appears.
Exactly.
Besides his appearance.
Yeah, and then because everyone worships him, it just gives him an even bigger ego. It's
right.
Like, I'm a god now. It's like, show me your god powers.
Not only am I a god, I'm a really nice guy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So
man.
nice.
He's a super nice guy.
Yeah. I'm so nice.
Like throughout the entire movie.
I'm like hella
I'm
nice.
a kind god.
He is going on and on about how great he is and how
generous.
Super awesome it would be if you knelt and became a slave to me.
Right.
Because you won't be dead.
And then I loved the quote because it is impactful for like his position, but in the grand scheme of things, I really don't think it holds up. It's like when the kind of malformed guy is like going to Xerxes and is like, I want women in power and money
and a uniform.
Like it's like all that kind of stuff.
Right.
It's like he says at the end, he's like, the evil King Leonidas may ask you to stand, but all I ask for you is to kneel before me. That's all I ask for, because I'm a cool guy, because I'm nice.
Look at me, you can trust me,
dude. I'm so nice.
You see these piercings?
Yeah, you see me. I got freaking chains on my head. You see me? I'm cool.
Oh yeah. No, the guy's Lord God powers or whatever.
You see me in my golden speedo?
But don't worry.
I'm cool.
Don't worry though. He bleeds. We can kill him. Yes. So the final line in the history of the battle says that the pass at Thermopylae was thus opened to the Persian army, according to Herodotus, at the cost to the Persians of up to 20,000 fatalities. The Greek rearguard, meanwhile, was annihilated with a probable loss of 2,000 men, including those killed in the first 2 days of battle. Herodotus says at one point that 4,000 Greeks died, but assuming the Phocian guards guarding the track were not killed during the battle, as Herodotus implies, this would be almost every Greek soldier present, by his own estimates. Damn. This number, this means that this number is probably too high, which means that more than likely less than 4,000 of Greek men died, but still up to or more than 20,000 of the other guys died.
Jesus.
Wow.
That's why at the end of the movie he says 3-1 is a paltry sum. Because just so like historically, we were talking about like whether or not those guys are that bad. Like historically speaking, that happened. Those are 3-1 odds right there for sure. Like and it's just,
they outnumber us 3-1.
I just like
then it is an even fight.
Yeah. I really like that phrase, a paltry 3-1. Like it's weak sauce, man. We got this. What are you talking about?
But to continue with that phrase I was talking about again, it's like he it seems sympathetic, and it's like, all I ask for you to do is just to kneel before me. I just need more servants. I need more people. And again, I think he even says something along the lines when he's talking like face to face with Leonidas, how like he's saying that like they fear the sting of the lash or whatever.
They fear
like,
my god powers.
It's like they fear my power or whatever. And it's like that's
divine wrath.
That's cool and all, but then like when you got freaking Leonidas,
but at the end of the day, I could skewer you right now. Like
you had three.
Pig.
You had Leonidas and his 299 goons over here who were like ready to stand,
just
ready to die. Just the boys
yucking it up in the corner.
right. The boys all drinking and joining the lady committee. It's time for us to go.
And then you have your, I don't know, 20,000 like just common folk or whatever.
Right.
And then just
like
a
bunch of slaves that you gave weapons to.
Yeah. Right. I think that's really what made the Spartans so good, is they were career soldiers, which was again sort of like the Unsullied in Game of Thrones, where it's like it is like it's almost actually, I'll be honest, the Unsullied in Game of Thrones is more heartless, but with the Spartans 100%. It's almost heartless how the Spartans were treated, but they wanted it, like they wanted to be career soldiers. So when you think historically,
it's an honor, so you're like, please.
Historically, most soldiers were just people that were, there was like some soldiers and then some militia, just common folk that were armed, all able-bodied men. So like there weren't very many career soldiers in other places. And when you put that up against like a profound number of Spartans that were career soldiers, on top of the strategies that they made, like the phalanx formations and all that.
Right.
Like,
I love phalanxes.
Yeah. They made so not only did they do smart things, but they also had career training that just made them unrivaled. And they could do shit like this, where they were just like 300 against 1,000. They were like, "Ha, this is child's play." Exactly, this is child's play. Like, what
again, and one of our guys did a great job. I don't know their names. Like, at least not all
almost
the side
none of
characters.
them had names. Like, that's what I love about this movie. Is like,
and even if we did, if they did, we missed them.
Right.
At one point,
it happened so fast.
At one point, those two guys are fighting each other, and I was like, I wish these guys had names. But right now, it's just soldier number 127 fighting with soldier number 256. And they're just murking people left and right.
But like our one guy that you're talking about, how again the other like Acadia guys, whatever, like the head guy's like sitting there and is kind of scared looking up upon this field of troops.
Yeah.
And then Homeboy smiling.
And Homeboy is smiling to a point, and he's like, "Why are you smiling?" And he's like, "There are few people out here that can give us Spartans what we call like an honorable death."
Yeah. Right.
And he's like, "And I'm excited that there is probably somebody out there that can give that to me."
He said, "I'm excited. There may be one, but he just says, I like that maybe. There might just be one down there that can do it."
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah.
And then of course, then he proceeds to laugh.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, "Oh,
you guys are nuts. You guys are crazy."
See, that's a lovely little thing that I like to refer to as the Valhalla mentality.
Yeah, 100%.
Yes.
If you're gonna die, that's the thing with all these people is they're like, if we're gonna die anyway, we're going down in history, baby.
Right, dude.
And they did. This is the Battle of Thermopylae, is the coolest thing ever. So like they won, they did it. It is now like 2,000 years later, and I'm over here just vibing watching a movie about it.
Yeah. I get the Spartans. And then like the I don't always, but like watching this movie, I realized like, oh, this comes before what I'm thinking of. Is like the Roman Empire. I was like, this is what started the Roman Empire. Yeah, kind of. It's like it turns into that eventually. Yeah. And I forgot about that. I was like, we're talking about phalanx. We got these shields, and I'm looking at it. I'm like, oh, duh. This is like the
the precursors.
Yeah.
This is the Roman Empire version 1.0. Like, you know,
this is like Sparta.
Right.
This is the pre-build.
Is the beta version of that.
This is beta 1.0
of Roman Empire to come. Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, it's so
But
cool.
again, you want to talk about another like like the another
bona fide badass.
Oh, you're talking about like the next level badass of like of super soldiers we created at one point in time as actual Roman centurions.
Right.
Yeah. Man, it's crazy.
So who is everyone?
History is awesome.
History's cool. Wink.
History is built upon the bodies of the dead.
Yeah, I mean, okay, that too. History is written by the winners as well.
Yeah, yes, right.
We forget.
But well, to be fair, actually, Thermopylae, the winners didn't really write that, but it's still beside the point. It was too cool to forget.
The inevitable winners.
Who was everyone's favorite character? I mean, barring Leonidas, I would say probably one or both of those two guys that fought next to each other when the guy got beheaded. The guy, the head captain's son.
Dude, I'm telling you, the captain, especially after his son dies.
Oh man, he was so cool.
When he goes into his blood rage, and he just starts like going. He just starts like
got fucking drunk on blood.
Oh my dude, just starts like freaking hacking that man up.
He
like
activated rage mode, and it was the coolest thing ever. He played tic-tac-toe on a guy's face.
I'm telling you, I have never in my life seen someone depict blood rage quite like that before. Where it's like
it was so well done.
He just starts screaming.
He's like,
going at it.
Just again, murking soldiers left and right.
Man, nothing could stop that.
And oh man, it was
even to may I say, even to his last dying breath, getting stabbed in the gut, he's still like
he pulls him in closer. Which, like, you see it in a lot of
spear further into his gullet
just to stab, just to get extra reach.
It's almost cliche that like a blood raged person gets stabbed and then pulls in closer because they're dead anyway. Right. But at the same time, every time it happens, you're still like, that's
the hypest shit.
You're like, that's freaking metal. Every time that happens, he's stabbed, and I was like, he's not dead yet. And he pulls me closer, kills the guy, and I was like, he's not dead yet.
Yeah,
like
you thought he was gonna go down the knee.
Every time they're trying to give someone a good death, it's always they get stabbed and then take 3 more down after being stabbed, and then get stabbed like 12 times.
I don't think you ever see a Spartan get killed by one person. It's always
he has to get ganged up by a
and like so like
and then just even though he gets ganged up on, they all die in the process.
Like and it's just, I just oh man, even though it's almost cliche, and I'm not a fan of cliches, I have to admit every time someone gets stabbed and they pull that spear in closer, I'm like, hell yeah, every time. Like
oh man,
it's such a visceral reaction that honestly, it's a cliche that I'll take. I'll keep it every time.
Like impalement is usually like the bar set for okay, I'm gonna die.
I'm dead now.
Right. But now, how about I don't?
How about
and I kill you instead?
It's like it's not even how about I don't die. Like they're still dying, but he's like, how about I just embrace that shit and then just murder you with?
I don't give a fuck.
Oh man, it's so cool. Oh man,
it's also like it gives it that little bit of like terror too. It's like there's nothing like seeing somebody
being killed by a dead man.
I mean,
I'm just saying there's nothing quite like it.
Not even that, but just like giving it all you got, and then the guy just not giving up.
Yeah.
Like it's one thing if it's like this Goliath character, you're trying your best, and like, oh man, it's scary. But like if it's someone that's just like
a normal dude that just doesn't die. He's just
even like
literally too
a
angry to die.
Guy.
He's Broly.
And, I mean, like you're just like giving it all you got with you and your 2 buddies, and this guy's not gonna stop. You're like, oh, that's terrifying.
You stab him, and you're like, oh, I got him, and he's like, I got you too. Though.
This guy is fighting on a whole nother level.
Oh yeah.
This man's third eye is open. But yeah, like those
pinnacle of humanity.
In like that moment, they realized this man was bred for one thing,
and
it was to kill me.
It was to kill my ass. Oh man,
it was to spank my ass.
My fate was to die here.
Yeah, right. And this man's fate was to kill me. Oh man, at least I took him with me, I guess.
Right.
Like, but yeah, like those 2 guys that were fighting, like I said, the captain's son and his friend.
Oh,
those 2 were like very Leonidas and Gimli levels.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, dude.
Oh, like just like you could keep up next time, like joking and also murdering thousands. Epic. Very pog. Like,
very pog.
Much pog.
Yeah, much pog. Yeah. But like, so like, even though again, both of them are gonna die, it's really cool. Like I love those characters. So who's everyone else's favorite?
That's crazy.
I gotta go with the captain.
Man, it's so cool.
Cersei Lannister's up there too.
She's great.
Yeah.
Very
well done in the movie. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that dude! I was not suspecting whenever she pulled the sword out and killed that
straight up stabbed
the
piece of
counselor
shit.
guy.
I was waiting for her to do it. In fact, I thought she was going to do it on the first. Whenever he was like, "I'm gonna heck you," I thought she was gonna kill him right there. Like, or not. But she was trying to get, she was trying to get what she needed. So it makes sense. But I honestly, I will admit, I did see that one coming. I knew she was gonna. I thought she was gonna kill him with a knife that she had, though. Drawing someone else's sword is just like Giga Chad.
Drawing not only someone else's sword, but a Spartan sword.
Yeah, like, hey, let me borrow this real quick. And then, of course, obviously, the mic drop is after he's dead, and everyone's like, "Wait, he's a traitor." She just drops the sword and leaves. Like, yes,
mobilize the fucking army.
Yeah, right. I believe I have no more words left to say. You can have your sword back, pal, and just leave.
I love how again you're talking about visceral. There was like a point where she makes that sword go in like a little bit deeper three different times.
She's like twists. Well, he's
reciting his own fucking lines.
She says his gross ass, freaking ratty ass line back to him while turning the sword. Like there's no more. Again, if we're looking for female empowerment in movies, that's it, dude. That's what we're looking for.
And then
she murdered that man. That was awesome.
I loved her character because it was also like I loved the fact that it was like it's the kind of.
Early on, she does a good job.
And
very early.
That's what I'm saying. It's that kind of like the respect for both people that I would love. Like I love in relationships and I love in like depictions like this. Of like you have a man of some stature and he's being humbled before his wife and he's talking to her about his struggles or about what he's thinking about or whatever, and then she's able to like instill her perspective on things and he's able to like take that and then and I love that like whole the back and forth of that. It's really cool and I appreciated that.
Can we also talk about whenever he had that messenger like back to the pit?
Oh
Before he kicks him in, he turns to his wife and is like, "Am I good to do this?"
Like,
I feel like it wasn't even "Am I good to do this?" It was almost like "Am I stepping too far?" And she was like, "Nah, dude."
No,
he was like,
"Oh,
good, thanks."
You're good.
Right?
Right.
I feel like
I would do it too.
I feel like that's the way. That's my relationship goals. Is like right before I do something really stupid, I want to look at her and be like, "Is this too much?" And I really want her to be like, "No, it's not too much. Do it, do it."
Yeah. It's like that comfortable. It's like that comfortability of like looking back and just be like, if I'm going too far, you can say stop.
You can stop me now.
It's like I want to look back at there and go. And if you're like, it's like okay. Maybe I should slow down.
Exactly. But I'm at a 10. I'm at a 10. She wants me down here. I'll go down there. But like,
what is it? What is the phrase? I can't like the patience of a woman tempers wrath of a man or something. I don't know.
No idea.
One of those things. It's like just like
am I at a 10? So I just liked like really early on. She like. The messenger's like, why is this woman talking? And she's like, whenever men are speaking, and she was like, it's because Spartan women can actually give birth to like other men. I was like, from the get,
actual Spartan,
it's like to actual men. I was like, from the get go, she was like, I'm better than you, and I can make children better than you. One of it
definitely instills the sense that even the fucking civilians ain't nothing to fuck with.
No, exactly. That's what I was saying. I was like, everyone like in history is like downgrading women, and this one character is just like,
like, nah,
I'm better
bullshit.
than you. Not only am I better than you, but also I can make children better than you.
The same thing is whenever Leonidas has that one-on-one, that initial one-on-one talk with Xerxes, and he says like a one-off comment like watch out for your women and children, whatever, or watch out for your women or whatever, or
he mentions they're all gonna be slaves.
Protect them or what, it could still be slaves, whatever. And he's like, obviously you've never seen great women.
Right.
He's like,
I was like, you damn
and then,
fool.
I can imagine if we were trying to make this a sitcom, it would be like. You've never seen Spartan women, and then it just cuts to her stabbing that guy. That happens way later in the movie. I just want to make that a meme, like, you've never seen these women, and she just like stabs him and twists his sword.
It's crazy.
Like, oh man, that's what I'm looking for.
I'm trying to think of what her line, that phrase was that she said initially was.
Which one?
You let your woman speak before before men.
I'll find the line real quick.
Speak before men, and I think she says because Greek women are the only people that can birth real men or whatever, something like that. I was like, damn.
Yeah, like I said, I'll find that line real quick if I can.
Yeah, very awesome. Like I said, it was just
it's a good movie.
Even though some of I think there was like certain parts with like the blood, the VFX that were kind of weird. I think because it was so stylized and it was so, the colors were so dramatic.
Bursts from the corpses.
I think I found it actually. There we go. Something about like why are you letting her speak among real men? And she said, because only Spartan women give birth to real men.
There you go.
Right.
Damn.
I was like, oh man, that's again
cutting.
The line
Slap
comes
face.
from so many. It's like, I'm better than you, my children are better than you, and they will be better than you, and I just win. And I was like, yeah, all right, that's cool.
All of our men are better than you.
Right.
Even the people that you think are lesser than you
No,
are
better than
birthing
you.
men that are better than you.
Right.
even that guy over there, that farmer, probably could take your ass right now.
Yeah. My son, my child,
I taught him how to.
could bend you over and whoop your ass right now.
He's 6.5, and I taught him how to break your arm yesterday.
That's the thing. Most of these people are like soldiers first, or whatever the fuck else they need to be second.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's
I am
like,
a soldier first and a crop farmer second.
Yeah.
I'll have you know, blacksmith. I'm only a blacksmith because I was forced to be.
Right.
Yeah.
Because somebody's got to be a blacksmith.
You have
Yeah.
slaves that do whatever
Just
you
forging
want.
new ways to kick your ass.
Oh man. I don't know, that got me so much.
I like that one a lot.
Forging new ways to kick your ass.
Big.
Wow,
man.
dude.
But yeah, I like, and again, at the end of the movie, he's like, 300 did all that damage to them. Imagine what 10,000 Spartans will do.
Right.
Oh yeah, and also 20,000 other like Spartan common folk that are probably still better than them too.
Right.
Like, it's like, because at the end of the day, the place that's renowned for having the best soldiers ever, they're not soldiers, are still going to be like, yeah, kind of want to be those soldiers. I didn't fit the bill for whatever reason, so I can't be them, but like, I wish I could be a career soldier.
Yeah.
So even their like average Joe Blow citizen is going to be way better than other cities' Joe Blow citizens, just because they
It's
like,
also-
they prioritize war, you know? So like, the peasant versus peasant, Spartans are still going to win. Like, my money is still on the big guy.
It's also like what Dylan had mentioned a little while ago. He said like a Valhalla mentality.
Yeah.
It's like
Their whole
it's like
their whole
if you
civilization
live
has that.
if you live and fight and do your best, you are going to be known as a hero and you're going to be commended for your effort. And then even on the off chance that you dying in battle, you're going to go to Valhalla where there's going to be mead flowing.
Oh yeah,
and there's
going
gonna
to
be
tits and beer. That's it.
And there's going to be
endless table of food.
endless table of food. And then of course, whenever everything goes to hell
And bar
later,
fights. I can't wait.
whenever everything goes to hell later. In Ragnarok, you get to then like join in the fight
right.
and be like, legit.
Don't worry,
it's
you're
like,
back for round two.
Yeah, you're back for round two.
So
It's like
cool.
I don't know. It's like so.
Yeah.
It's like even like again, there's no.
You can't lose.
Yeah, exactly.
You
It's
can't
like,
lose.
You have set up this scenario where like you have like emboldened people with this power.
Right.
You are
And the thing is,
honored
like-
if you fight and honored if you die. It's like, man,
You wanna be remembered, and so like if you don't die, you get to come back and be like, I ain't found somebody that can kill me yet, and that's badass. And if you do die, then maybe not like by everyone, you're just gonna be another soldier in history, but like by your family and the people that matter, you're going to be remembered as a guy who died a Spartan's death.
yeah.
And you're a good Spartan. Like, you win, right? You can't. And again, if you believe that you like adamantly believe like, oh, I'm going to Valhalla, then you're like currently stabbing people on the battlefield. Like, if I die right now, these sweet big titty Valkyrie bitches are gonna take me from this battlefield straight into Valhalla, where I'm gonna get drunk as shit. Like, I can imagine that when you're about to die, you're like, well, I may as well just go ape on these people because that was the way it worked. It was like the Valkyries picked the ones that fought worthily. So like I can imagine whenever you're like, I'm gonna die here, you're like, no, wait, I can't. I gotta make sure I get enough. My K.
I'm gonna die here.
No,
Man.
it's like, oh man, I can't die. My KD is not good enough. It's like I can't die here, otherwise the Valkyries might. And then you just go absolutely ape because you're trying to get.
Thor's gonna see my post-game carnage report. He's gonna be fucking upset.
Dude, Thor's KD, man. I don't know if I can compete with that. So
Dude,
like,
it's like
I
you-
could at least break like
it's
top
like-
three.
it's
Top
like-
three at
it's
least.
like-
exactly, yeah.
it's
I
like
can't
you-
beat Leonidas. I can't, but I'll be.
You die, and like your camera pans back, and it just has like a score chart of like how many kills you got,
Yeah.
and the Valkyrie sits there and goes,
Yes, I beat.
not quite. And she's like, no,
Fuck.
yeah, no.
Yes, I beat Herodotus. Like, yeah, exactly.
But it's like,
Everybody's getting into Valhalla if they die in combat, but you're trying to get that one-way ticket with them Valkyries, you know, right?
I want to get at the head of the table.
Exactly. Yeah. So you're like, I have to keep killing. You're like on the floor bleeding. Like, no, I could take another one.
Not yet.
One guy's running over, and you're like, stab him in the dick. Yeah.
So, but like, what? like, how interesting is that? Like, you can really, like, I know that, like people believed that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so cool to, like, that you have.
That culture was so focused around.
Like, you have, like, you have emboldened a group of people.
So much so.
To believe this one thing. And I mean, it's the same thing can be said about any, like, religion and all that kind of stuff. Obviously, it's like.
Yeah, but I like
I think
it's
that, like,
just a different kind of fanaticism.
Yeah,
right.
And I think, but like, it's interesting because like you can almost see looking back on it, like how that belief came about, where it's like,
right.
There's one like general of the army is like, I don't know what happens when we die, but hey, if we kill enough people, maybe we just get to go up there and party. You know?
Right,
how about that? Let's think about that. And everyone's like, oh yeah, and
that sounds great.
they're fighting average, winning, losing, doesn't matter, battle, and he's like, kill enough people and it's booze forever, boys. Like, I feel like you can almost see how it kind of got created, even though there's probably some deeper mythological way that it all came about or something. But like, even just like reasoning for a culture that focuses on war so much, I can imagine that like how they put that in their mind that like, if I do well enough in battle, there's got to be something out there that's like, damn, he did real good, and just is like party at my table for the rest of eternity.
I went so hard that even fucking God took notice. He wants to hang out with me.
I went so sicko mode that I get to join the Liddy committee. Yeah, that's what it is. I get to go upstairs in the Liddy committee, and we're all partying now.
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
What a fun time.
It was a good movie. It was a great movie, actually. I really liked it. I think in my notes, Can we
also just talk about for a second that guy with the shield, whenever like all the arrows come down and blots out the sun, like he was saying.
Oh, yeah, he's just chuckling.
He's like sitting there
Starts laughing his ass off.
And the guy's like, what are you laughing at?
Fighting in the shade.
Fighting in the shade. Who would have thought?
They said it was going to blot out the sun. The only thing I wrote for my notes is they really love slow motion in this.
Oh,
and that was like in like the fourth.
A lot.
That was like the fourth scene, and I had like 3 more hours of slow motion too. That's the best part. Like I wrote that really early.
Yeah,
that was tasteful though, but still,
I think they did a good job with it. Some of it was probably a little much, but I
think the whole point of because
it
I feel like
felt
for
like
this,
it was too much.
Yeah, the point. I think the thing with this movie is like the parts of it that feel like it's a bit much. It's almost got like not like quite, but it's kind of like towing the line of like almost like a Fast and Furious movie kind of thing, where it's where it's like this is an action movie, and you're like, oh, 300 against 1,000, they just keep murdering them, like whatever. But then the problem is, it never feels like it can be Fast and the Furious level of extra, because also historically something very similar happened, and so you're constantly like torn between like this is ridiculous, and also, wait, didn't something very similar to this actually happen? Yeah. So a lot of it that is ridiculous, like some of the specific things that happen, you're like, I mean, I can't rule out that actually did happen. Like that spear throw, I mean, in all honesty.
Who am I to say?
Exactly, yeah, you're like,
I wasn't there.
I wasn't there, and honestly, sure, sure.
Yeah. If the story has persisted for this long, then, I mean,
Exactly.
You might as well just fucking take it at face value.
And all of our best researchers on the case are like, listen, our best estimate is 4,000 and 20,000. And honestly, that 4,000's high. Like, even the best minds are like, look, this is real, and we don't believe it either. But
the equation balances thus that this was, in fact, the
stacked
most extravagant example of tenacity I've ever seen.
Yeah, at the absolute least, 5 Persians died for every Spartan. At the absolute least.
That's impressive.
The average KD is 5 to 1.
Right.
Pretty average. I'm just saying it's pretty cool, guys.
That is so cool.
Yeah, that's
awesome.
Wow.
Like, so.
I wish people talked about it more.
And you're right. Like, I agree. Like, I'm probably gonna do more research in it after this, to be honest.
Right. Like I said, watching this kind of makes me like want to go back and look at some like Roman Empire stuff, because man, I love the naming convention for stuff, the Latin, the like all of that.
Have you guys ever heard of Achilles' lesser known brother?
Oh God,
Sagondes. Have you ever heard of Sagondes' balls? All right, let's move on. I've been saying that joke for a while now, and I just find it so funny. You've heard of Achilles' heel. Have you ever heard of Sagondes' balls?
Oh, man. I hate it.
I think it's great.
It's perfect, but I hate it.
There was another one, too. It was like, start pronouncing things that end with ES. as a Greek name or as a Roman name. And I forgot that was one of those like really funny, but I kind of forgot what it was. So I'll have to.
Right, you would say instead of the Beatles, it would be the Beatles.
Oh, that was it. Instead of calling them testicles, call them like testicles. That was it.
Oh, that was my favorite.
It was pronounced testicles like it's a Roman name, and I was like, oh, and then someone else commented, "What about Bionicles?"
Oh my god.
Oh, Bionicles.
Oh my god.
That's so good.
Oh man.
Oh man. Well, I guess on that note, we should probably wrap it up.
You can tell it's 2:00 in the morning.
Right.
We're talking about my testicles. So,
anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Oh my gosh, it scared me.
Scared you?
Well, I just didn't expect
reach
it.
over.
No, I didn't see you reach over. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. We all really appreciate it. I should say now that we're all three here. Before we end up wrapping up, this is the week that we were talking about that Ethan is moving out.
I'm supposed to
time.
So also, like, I'm dealing with a bunch of other stuff. So
exactly.
It's going to be slow.
So probably next week we may do something a little different. We may have somebody else on.
Who knows?
So he may be back. I don't know. But
you know, only Valhalla knows.
Only Valhalla knows.
Just vibing.
Right. But
yeah, exactly. They've been deciding, trust me.
As per usual, we have a link tree /Ian Wolf. You can get all of our links, social media links, all that kind of stuff. You can find us on the Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Spotify. Just type in The Aftermath. You can find us wherever.
Yep.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
About things.
It's been a lot of fun. But until next time,
See you.
Bye-bye.